All right, so I'm working from home today, but I wanted to take a second to talk a little bit about something that's been rumbling around on social media, and that has been about Supergirl. So apparently, the movie didn't hit the box office expectations that everyone had, and I wanted to add a little insight to that because it might change the way you think about your business as a filmmaker. First off, many people don't realize that the studio system is essentially a loss leader business. Most movies released actually struggle to recoup their cost and turn a profit, and yes, that includes big studio films. You'd be surprised how many movies lose money, yet they go on to become legendary films or even win Academy Awards. Here's why. A major motion picture usually needs to make roughly 2 to 2.5 times its production budget at the global box office just to break even. So think about that for a second. If a movie costs, let's say $150 million, and then another $100 million to market, that film needs to pull in around $500 to $600 million globally just to get into the black. Why? Because movie theaters and international distributors take a massive cut right off the top of those gross receipts. Now, this setup isn't exclusive to Hollywood. Independent filmmakers, we're dealing with that all the time. You're always having to split your royalties with a distributor, whether it's a distributor or an aggregator. But it begs a bigger question. How can you as the filmmaker actually build a sustainable business model? When you look at the raw economics of film, it's easy to get discouraged, but this is exactly why Hollywood has become so strategic about the types of movies that they greenlight and how they position them. Projects just cost too much money nowadays, and traditional theater audiences aren't turning out like they used to. So what can you learn from this as an independent filmmaker? From my perspective, it's about you need to think about other ways to generate revenue around your intellectual property, whether that's merchandising, workshops, educational content, or other ancillary products. You have to start viewing your film as your primary marketing driver for the rest of your business. In the corporate world, they call this diversification. For you, it's about balancing your risk. There are incredible examples of filmmakers making a great living off of their indie films purely through ancillary rights, such as merchandising. So when you are looking over your distribution contracts, make sure that you carve out those ancillary rights and keep them for yourselves, because distributors, they love taking everything. But the reality is that your best shot at making sometimes any money is about the other products that you control. So as you sit down to develop your next film, think about the stories that have life outside of the movie itself, whether it's leveraging your YouTube channel or selling merchandise or building a community. Build content that has multiple facets. So I want to encourage you to rethink your development strategy and honestly, maybe give a little grace to these movies that struggle in the news. Because despite what the internet hate says, the fact is that Hollywood has done an incredible